morning and welcome to Live with Joy. I'm going to give it a few moments for everybody to start to find that post, and then we're going to go over what we're going to be doing today. But as we start to wait for everybody to come in, let's just remind ourselves of what it is that we have been focusing on this week, and that is calorie burning. So every workout this week, we are trying to bring some intensity into it in order to have a nice calorie burn. That is where we are focusing on today. And we've had 2 days of doing that so far since we started our week on Tuesday. We had a full body blast, which had constant movement and worked strength and cardio as well. And yesterday we worked on an upper body cardio blast where we had our upper body focused movement, but we also added some lower body movement in order to really kind of bring more intensity into that workout and burn some extra calories by having more movement than just those arms kind of happening at the same time. Well, today we have what I called it is intense core and body weight movement. And yes, that word intense is in there because that's what we're thinking of in order to have more of a calorie burn. So with that said, intense is as intense as you want to make it. So there's all those different ways that you can make things more or less intense. Today we are only using our own body. So we're using our own body weight to do the exercise, which means we don't have any resistance to work with to make it harder or easier with changing that resistance heavier or lighter. So the things that we're going to focus on making it more intense or less intense is going to be our speed of our movement and our range of our movement. So bigger movements, going to be more intense. Faster movements, going to be more intense. If you need it less intense, you're slowing it down, and you're also going to shorten up that range of motion. And of course, like always, I will give you some options and modifications for some of those exercises as well. But at any time when we're doing the work today, it's all going to be based on the floor. We're just going to start a little bit of our warm-up on our feet. You can hold planks, whether it be side planks, reverse tabletops, bridge positions, side planks, whatever position that we're in, you can simply hold those things instead of adding movement to it. You can also simply do some crunches or something like that you might be more comfortable with, okay? But I will give you some options as well as we move through it. So what we're gonna do is, since we're on our feet already, most likely, we're gonna start to just warm up that center and get it a little bit stretched out and ready to go on our feet, and then we're gonna take it down, continue our warm up down there, and then get right into those circuits, okay? So let me get that music started. All you're gonna need to have is your mat or some sort of soft surface in order to work from. All right, so right here, we're gonna take our feet about hip shoulder width apart, roll our shoulders back and down. Let's just start with some nice, easy, and gentle shoulder rolls. Keeping it right there. Good, let's just go 2 more times with those shoulder rolls. 1 more time, and now from here, I want you to fold forward, reaching for that floor. Hold there for a moment, and then kind of roll your body up, and as you come up, open up that chest right here. And again, fold forward, reaching down to that floor, and then roll yourself up and open up that chest when you come up. Good, we're gonna do 2 more times, just like that. Reach for that floor, roll that body up, open up that chest, and 1 more time, just like that. Reach, good, lengthen out the back of those legs, roll that body up, open up that chest, and now bring those feet together, rise those arms up. Let's bring those hands together and release the index finger, squeezing those arms against that head, and just rock it side to side. Gentle right here. So you want to feel that lengthening in your sides. Good. Just sway 1 more time, and then just settle over to the right. Take that nice stretch and reach those arms up to that ceiling. And take it up and over to that left side. Lift and lengthen those arms up. Really feel that stretch through the right side. And come back to that center. Lower those arms down, and we're going to start to take it down to that floor. And once we get to that floor, we're going to bring it onto all fours. All right, so right here, we're going to take it onto all fours. You want to have those wrists directly underneath those shoulders, those knees directly underneath those hips. And we're going to tuck that chin in and round that back, really opening up that spine. And then look up and hollow it out. Chin to that chest, let's round it out. Look up and hollow it out. And then do it 2 more times right here, rounding. And then hollowing and looking up. And then 1 more time, rounding, tuck in. And look up and hollow it out. And now I want you to come to a neutral spine. Curl those toes under. We're going to sit back on those heels and slide those arms just forward a little bit. Extend and lengthen through those arms. And then from here, I want you to come up and I want you to sit back. Stay on your knees for the first few, and then we're going to try to pop it up onto our toes in that full plank. But if you're uncomfortable with that, you're going to stay right here for now, okay? Let's do 2 more staying on those knees. And then 1 more time, and then from here, if you can, pop it up onto those toes, and then sit it back onto those heels. So you're going to start to get a little bit more of that core engagement right there. And we're going to have 1 more add-on here if you can, staying on the knees if you need to, popping up to the toes here if you can, and 1 more add-on once you come here, lift and press those hips to the ceiling, back into that plank, lower the knees and sit down. So let's get a couple of those in if you can, lift those hips up, into that plank, knees down, 2 more times, if not just, again, you can just be staying on your knees still, or you can just be coming up into that full plank. 1 more time, up with that hip drive up, lower down, and sit back on those heels, and stay right here, lengthen it out. Good, from here, we're gonna rotate onto our belly, and we're gonna start that work right here. Okay, watch me for your first exercise. We're gonna make a nice kind of X position with our body, and again, intense as you wanna be. From here, the fingertips are gonna come behind the ears. You're gonna bicycle 4 times, and then drop it back into that X. Okay, now you can go from here, 1 leg at a time. Most intense is gonna be everything coming up and as fast as you can, and then back down. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then extend and rest. Rest however long you need to when you're in that X position. Get that energy to bust out 4 more of those bicycles, okay? Then watch me, we're gonna sit here on our bottom, hands are gonna be behind us. We're gonna kick that leg up and reach for the inside of our feet 4 times, and then lift our bottom up and off of that ground. So again, you can be as intense or as slow and steady as you need to. Now, if sitting up this way is too much, watch my option right here. Kick those legs up 4 times, and then drive those hips up, and you just keep that back down the entire time, okay? So speed, range of motion, and those options that I gave you to make it more or less intense. So let's get into that X position. You're gonna have 30 seconds of work, 10 seconds to transition and get ready and prepared for that next move. Okay, we're gonna bust out 4 bicycles any way you choose and come back to this X position in 3, 2, and go. You're on that clock. 1, 2, 3, 4, and rest. 1, 2, 3, 4, and rest. And again, you take it at a pace that's manageable for you. But again, we are trying to be as intense as you can be. So fast, whatever fast is for you, 4 times. Take that little rest all the way down. And remember your options. If you need, you can keep that head down, just lift that shoulder instead of coming all the way up. Good, relax. Now you're gonna either stay here for the kick and reach here, and that hip lift, or you're coming up here, keeping that bottom on the floor, upper body tall. Kick 4 times, reaching, lift those hips up into that reverse tabletop. 2, 4, and lift. 4 times, pop it up. Head down if you need to, and then that shoulder bridge rather than that reverse tabletop. So remember, there are options for all of those moves if you need them. Please take them. If you're up, you're lowering down. We're coming back into that X position. Think about the energy you need to have. 4 bicycles. Right here, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and into that X. So by having the speed that we're working with, we are working that intensity and therefore burning those extra calories. So I want you to think about speed of that movement today, because that's what's gonna make it intense, that's what's gonna give you that cardio element, and that's what's gonna make you burn extra calories today and this week. And relax, either staying down here to reach for those feet here, or coming up into your position up here, engaging even more of that core, and reach in for the inside of those feet 4 times, and pop it up. You're gonna notice that you're working strength of other muscles as well. in the upper and the lower body. So it's not just about that core, because we've got those body weight movements in. So many other muscles need to kick in to make those body weight movements happen. Good, finish up your last one, and then you can lower down and into that X position. Set number 3, and you do have 4 of them today. Get ready for those bicycles 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then rest in your X. I can already feel that core fired up. I can already feel the intensity of that temperature in my body rising and my heart rate. Make sure you're breathing through it. Find that movement that works for you, that speed, that range, and those options. Good, get that last one in. And again, either staying here to reach for the inside of those feet, popping those hips up, or coming to your top position here, opening up that chest, engaging that center, kicking those legs up 4 times, reaching for the inside of that foot, and popping those hips up. And in between those circuits, if you need to get water, go ahead. You want to bring that water closer to you so you don't have to get up off of that floor. Do that when we're done with this circuit. We got one more set left, guys. Set number 4. Find your X position to start, and that's also where you rest in between those 4. Get set, and go. 1, 2, 3, 4, into your X position. Five more seconds. Last set of those bicycles. And relax. Again, either staying here or coming to your position upright. Open up those chests. You know, I really extend my arms and really open up that chest. And then kick those legs up to reach for the inside of that foot. And then pop those hips up with nice strong arms holding me in position. Good, get that last one in, and take a break. Get some water if you need, bring your water closer if you need to. And we're gonna move on to our next set of exercises. So watch me. This one, our rest position for both of them is in child's pose. So it looks like this. Okay, we're gonna lower down onto that belly, lift the legs and hands, reach 4 times for those W reaches. Come up, sit back on those heels. Okay, so every time you're getting 4 of them in. If it's too much to sit back on your heels, take a rest here, come on up and reach through it, okay? And then we're going into those plank knees or mountain climbers. So we still start in this. This is where we start and we rest. We come up, drive 4 knees underneath the body, sit back and into that child's pose position, okay? And of course, you can bring it here and tap it back. Instead of bringing the knee in, sit back on those heels, okay? So you've got those options. You can also step it out and in to make it a little bit harder instead of just the tap backs, and then sit it back and into those heels as well. Okay, so our starting position is gonna be here, down on our belly, and we're gonna reach forward 4 times. In 4, 3, 2, and go. From that child's pose position, lower to your belly, lift the legs, lift the hands, reach 3 times at your pace, but remember we're trying to think about speed. Press it up, sit back on those heels. If you need more of a rest in between those 4, go ahead and take it. If you can, make it just a quick movement and right back to that work. Good, think 4 and rest. Good, now stay here. You've got 10 seconds to rest. And then we're popping up to those plank knees, mountain climbers, plank tap out, stepping it out and in, whatever you can do. right here. 1, 2, 3, 4 is going to be your most difficult one. Nice and easy with those knees, taking more time. Okay, or staying on those knees, tapping it back 4 times, or walking it out and in from that plank. 2, 3, get 4 of them in, and sit it back. But again, mountain climbers, gonna be your hardest one. Getting 4 of them in, and then sitting back on those heels. Good, hold right here. You're going back to those W reaches. Take your rest, breathe through it. Get set to come to your belly in 2 and 1. On the belly, legs up, hands up. Reach 4 times. Remember, we're trying to work on speed today. Making it intense if you can. Look straight at that 4. You're getting as many of them in that 30-second time as you can. How many 4 sets can you do? Good, finish whatever you started. And then sit back on your heels and wait for those plank knees, mountain climbers. Tap back, step into planks. Get set and go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sit it back into that child's pose. For those of you who work that speed and intensity today, this is going to be more than just a typical core workout for you. It's going to be a calorie-burning, high-intensity interval workout that you are going to work more than just that core. Good, sit back and relax, and get set to come down onto that belly, and reach forward for those W reaches. In 2 and 1, right here, lower down, and reach 4 times, count it out, press it up, and sit back on those heels. Good, you guys keep going right there. I'm gonna come check in with you guys. Come on, you got this today. I see you guys working with me. Come on, core strength, body weight strength. We are working that strength today in a different way, adding in that cardio and that calorie burning element. Sit back on those heels and relax. Get ready to power up into those plank knees, mountain climbers, tap backs, step into planks, get set whenever you choose, and go for it 4 times, and then sit it back. Finish up your last one, whatever you started. Sit back on those heels, take a moment there. You got 1 more set. Get ready to reach forward from that belly. In 2 and 1, go, lower down. Balance on the belly, reach forward 4 times. Pull it back, press it up, and sit back on those heels. Finish it up. Sit back on those heels and take a moment. Get ready to explode up and into those knees, tap backs, or step outs. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Take it at your own pace. Almost there. Let's finish it up. Get that circuit done with. And then we're moving on to our next 2 exercises. Good, finish up your last one wherever you started, and bring it right there. Get some water if you need it. Resetting that clock, and you guys are gonna watch me for your next 2 exercises. So watch me here. We're gonna take it into our side position, shoulder or elbow rather directly underneath that shoulder. If you can, you're lifting up, arm is up. We are working that reach through, threading that needle 4 times. Again, you can make it intense, and after the 4th one, drop the hip and rest. come up and get 4 more in. Now, if you can't lift that hip up, that's okay. Give me 4 reaches here with the hip down, and then maybe after that 4th one, see if you can get a lift without the thread. And if that's too much, just work it right here, taking it at a pace that's comfortable for you. Next exercise, on your knees or on your toes. We're gonna have some hip dips side to side 4 times, and then come center, drop the hips down, toes down, palms down, look up into that cobra stretch, bring it back up, and give me those hip dips again. Knees can be down, okay, and that cobra stretch can be as simple as staying right here, not even looking up, or even lifting the elbows, okay? So you decide on that stretch, and then right back into those hip dips. And we'll change sides for that side plank every time, so you only have to do it 2 times on each one of those side planks, okay? So we're gonna be right here. You're gonna either start your threading from here, or you're threading up with that hip up, arm is up, get set, and go. 30 seconds on the clock, 4 times as you reach underneath the body with that twist. You get it in as quick as you can, and then drop the hip, take a little rest, get that energy up to go 4 more times, and do as many sets as you can of that 4 within that time frame. And you can keep that hip down the entire time and just thread if you need to. Good, now we're gonna rotate and come onto those forearms. Now again, get ready to lift those hips up. You can keep those knees down or those knees up. Dip side to side, 3, 4, come center, palms down, toes down, look up, and again, you can even lift if you want more of a stretch. Come on up and dip it side to side. 4 times, and then look up, rest up if you want more of a stretch. Now count your dips as right 1, left 2, right 3, left 4, come down, and lift. Good, that last one in, stretch it. In that cobra position, and now we're rotating to that opposite side. Hip stays down, or hip lifts up to start. Reach it 4 times. If you're keeping that hip down, just reach the entire time and take breaks when you need. Lower down after 4. And again, work on getting it as tense as you can, because you get that little rest after 4. It's not continuous. We lower down, we take that rest, we build strength to go 4 more times. Good, rotate back to that center, and once again, get set for those hip dips into that cobra stretch. So you're gonna lift the hips up, knees are down, or they're up for those dips, and 4 times, come back to the center, palms down, and again, you don't have to lift those elbows up, you can just keep that little stretch right here in the center, look up, without lifting those elbows off of that floor. Okay, find what works for you. Again, that movement, that range, it's all gonna be up to you. Good, finish whatever you started. And then rotate back to your other side. And again, either keeping that hip down or lifting that hip up for your start. 4 times, reach through. And then lower that hip down. Good, get it done on this side. Finish it up. Finish what you start. Get those 4 in. And then rotate back to that center, belly down. Get ready to lift those hips up and dip it 4 times to the center. Look it up, lift it up if you can, and then back to those dips. From the forearm position, on your knees or on your toes. And again, think speed today. Look straight down, not at your legs, which I tend to do sometimes. Just caught myself doing it. So give yourself those self-checks. Finish what you start. And take it to the other side. 1 more set right here. Bottom knee is bent, help stabilize you. Hip down or hip up. 4 times, reaching through. Good, rest it down in between those 4. Get that energy up for 4 more of them. Good, remember you'd be doing 4 here. And then after the 4th one, see if you can get a little lift up and down. Okay, rotate back to that center. When you're done, finish what you started. Get ready to lift those hips up, knees down or knees up. Right here or here. And tip it side to side 4 times. Center and look up, press up if you can. Taking those elbows off of that floor. And finish up the last one. Sit back on your heels. Get some water if you need it. I'm going to get some and reset that clock for you. And then show you your next set of exercises that we're going to work on. All right, guys, staying on that ground. We're going back to lying down on that floor. And you're going to watch the different options, okay? So our hands are going to be behind our head. You can keep that head down and just drag those knees into the chest here, okay? Option 2, shoulders are up as you drag those knees in. Option 3, head down, drag those knees in and extend them. You can rest them or hover them. And then your final hardest one, keeping those shoulders up. And right here, as you drag those knees in, see how my bottom kind of comes up a little bit? Okay, you're going to try to work on that as well. All right, and then we're going to sit it up here, and we're doing our Russian twist. We're going to lower back slightly, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then extend and lengthen up, coming all the way up here. Lower back, 1, 2, 3, 4, lift and extend, okay? So in between each 4 sets of those Russian twists, we bring it up. Faster the better, but again, that depends on what feels comfortable for you, okay? Hug yourself if you need instead of a reach, okay? And then back to those twists. All right, let's come on down. Our first position, either you have bent legs or extended legs. You have that head down, or you're starting with that shoulder up, and you're driving those knees in with bent knees or extended, unextended legs in 3, 2, and go. And remember, speed and range of motion, gonna make it harder. You're gonna get 4 in, guys, and then everything rests down. Muster up that energy to get 4 more in. So you do have that rest in between 4. Okay, see if you can make those movements when you move 4 times as big and as strong as you can. You can get that rest in between each one. Just let everything fall to the floor and take that moment right there. Good, and now you gotta lift yourself up. Use your leg or legs if you need to. Right here, sitting up. On your heels, toes are up. Lower back if you can for more core engagement. 1, 2, 3, 4, and extend and lengthen. Or hug here in between. 1, 2, 3, 4. Extend and lengthen. Lower back. 1, 2, 3, 4. Extend and lengthen. Good. Really feel that nice, strong lengthening up right here. Reach for that ceiling. Get flexibility out of that movement. 1, 2, 3, 4. Make it worth it to reach and extend up to that ceiling. Right here. Think of it as a nice, long stretch, all right? Come on down. From bent knees, from extended legs, shoulders down, shoulders up. Drive those knees in 4 times, right to that chest, and then let the feet or the legs rest on the floor with that head, and go for 4 more. 2, 3, get your 4th in. Again, you're counting it out. You're not going by my time. Whatever works for you. Get your 4 in. Rest longer if you need to. But the less rest you give yourself, the more intense it's going to be, the more calories you're going to burn. Good. Get that last one in. And then again, start to bring yourself up. Use a leg. Roll to your side, however you need to. Come on up. On your heels, toes are up. Lower back if you can. More core engagement. 4 times for that Russian twist, lengthen and reach. 1, 2, 3, 4. Count it out on your own because you might be working at a different pace than I am. And again, if that lengthening is too much, take a hug. Come on up. You can twist and keep it taller instead of leaning back, and hug instead of a stretch. Find what works for you. It's all about keeping it moving best that you can right here. Good. Let's lower down. Back on that floor with the feet bent, with the legs extended, with the shoulders down, with the shoulders up, engaging, and go. 4 times. Drive those knees into the chest, and then take that rest, bringing everything, including the head, to the ground. So all of those muscles relax, and then need to contract and work again. 15 seconds. Hang in there. Good, relax it. And any way you feel comfortable, coming up to that seated position. Again, on your heels, toes are up, sitting tall or leaning back for more core engagement. 4 times for that Russian twist, hugging or reaching and lengthening. These little sets of 4 are really great ways to work so that you can work that intensity, but not for the entire full 30 seconds, okay? You kind of give yourself that little moment, and then it helps you go more intense in the movement that you're actually doing. Good, right from here, set your body, and 4 times. So you might not be able to sustain that for 30 full seconds, but 4 times, and then you get a rest, is a lot more doable, and you can actually make that movement maybe more intense than if you would if you had to sustain it for 30 seconds all at one time. So this allows you to get more intense for those short bursts of time. Good, relax, and come on up. All right, get set. Once again, on my heels, my toes are up. Leaning back if you want more core engagement. Last and final time, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hug it or lengthen and reach it. Good, take a little break, get some water. Watch me, we're moving into our more advanced stuff. So I'm gonna give you some options here, of course, for these movements. We are gonna come into our bear pose position. All right, first thing, we wanna get those 4 shoulder taps in. Now you can do it from your knees. You can take a little rest if you need to. Hover the knees and get 4 shoulder taps there, even better, okay? Now, your last and final option and your hardest one is to get those 4 in, and then we're gonna rotate into what we've been working on, into this kind of side seated position, back to the center, get 4 in, and then sit it on the other side, okay? But again, you don't have to do that. You can simply stay right here, okay? Get 4 in and lower. You can get 4 in here. Just give yourself a little bear lift, and back to 4, keeping the knees down. So many options there for you. Second exercise, we want to wind up in this position here, okay? Where we have one extended leg, the other one is bent, arm is up. We're going to reach for the inside of that foot 4 times, and then you can either rest or watch me pop it up here 4 times, okay? If that is all too much for you, you can lie down, and you can get your 4 in here, take a rest, 4 in here with that body just completely resting, okay? So first thing you have to do is come on up here. And again, it's going to be 4 shoulder taps and a knee lift. Hover for 4 and release. Hover for 4, and if you can manage that, okay? See if you can work that side seat in between each one of those 4 taps, okay? Get set and go. You're on that clock. So any way you want to get those 4 shoulder taps in, and then rest it or rotate it into that position, that side seated position, and then over to the other side. And then get your 4 tap center, and that's going to release you from that position, rotating. You can sit that bottom all the way onto that floor. Take a moment there. Get that energy. Come back to that center. Get those shoulder taps in and in position. Now I'm going to stay here because this is where I want to be for that next exercise. You're either here or, again, you can lower all the way down if you want to rest that body. Up here, if you can, that opposite arm and leg are straight, and you want 4 times to try to lift that leg up, and then either rest or take a lift right here. Squeeze that glute behind you, lower down, and give me 4 more. Reaches for the inside of that foot. You're gonna feel that inner thigh burn as you try to get that leg up to meet that hand. Good, count it out. Get your last one in. Make sure you complete that movement. And then on that next set, we want to be facing the other direction, okay? So we're coming back to that center. Any way you can stay here for those shoulder taps. You can get a little lift in between them. You can hover for those shoulder taps and then rest down in between them. And if you can maintain this and you want to get that little side seat in between each one, right there. Hover the knees and then rotate into that side seated position. And that's just going to elevate your body weight movement if you can. I'm going to stay here because, of course, this is where I want to be for the next one. All the way down. If you're going to come here, resting it there. Up here if you can. Going to make it a lot harder to work through that core and that inner thigh. To reach for the inside of that foot. 3, 4, and then again, lift it up if you can, or just simply take that rest. You might even feel that you can't even get that leg up at all. So even if it's just a tiny little move, you're not going to necessarily connect to that hand. That's okay. Come back to all 4s. Just try to lift it, get the energy into that inner thigh where you want it to be. Get those 4 shoulder taps in any way you know how. And then into that side seated position where we're going to wind up for our second exercise. So many levels that you guys can create for yourself. You don't have to be here, okay? I'm gonna just rotate to the other side. So I'm here, I wanna make sure I'm on the first side. Guys, remember, you can fully lay down and bring it here. Of course, gonna make it a lot easier of an option for you. Here if you can. Of course, a lot harder to get that leg up from that floor. And then added lift, only if you want it. Okay, different levels. You can just rest. You don't have to lift. Lift it if you want to. Did you guys feel that calorie burn? I know I do. All right, come on. My body's sweating to get through these core exercises today. These body weight exercises today. Let's go. We got one more set, guys. This is it. We're gonna go for those shoulder taps. Rotate it if you can. Just lower down right here if it's too much. Okay? I don't expect everybody to be able to do that move, but I'm showing it to you because some might be able to. Some might be looking for what is that next step. What can I do with this to elevate my work? So I want to give you those options. All right, right here, or again, lower all the way down. You'll just come here, still working that inner thigh, still working that core. Elevated here, making it even harder to lift that leg, and then that added lift right there, if you can make it happen. And if not, just take a rest in between those 4. Okay, that's what it's all about, getting that rest. That's just a little extra lift right here if you can get it in. ahead, finish with that last one. Get some water, breathe, and I'm gonna reset that clock. We got just one more circuit left to go, guys. So hang in there with me, okay? We are almost done. Just gonna towel down, I'm sweating. Okay, so we're going back to some side plank movements. Gonna have some hip and inner thigh movement if you can maintain it, okay? But I'm gonna show you those options on that side plank. Okay, we're gonna be right here, and we're gonna either stay here with that hip down 4 times for that side plank crunch here if you can. Now watch my movement here. I wanna go to the other side. So I'm going to, look, my hands are straight, my legs are up. I'm gonna rotate, pop up on the other side, and go 4 times here. So I'm trying to use my core as I rotate. Now, of course, you don't have to do that. You just roll it, keeping your arms on the floor, right? Nice and easy. Okay, however you need to get there. But I want you to do 4 on one side, 4 on the other. You can keep that hip down. You can sit up and do it, okay? This is what I want those advanced people to try. See how I come through the center just like this. That's where we're gonna end up. Now, of course, you don't have to be here. If you need to, it's 1 lift at a time, 4 times, and then you are going to relax it, okay? Second option is lifting both and lowering down 4 times and resting. And the last one is holding it up. I'm gonna open and close my legs 4 times and lower down and rest, okay? So all those options, you have to work on the first 2 before you can add that out and in movement. If you can't maintain your hold for 4 of those out and in movements, you can't do that move, okay? All right, so let's go. With the hip down or with the hip up, we're going for our side plank, rotating over to the other side, again, with that core strength if you can. If not, any way you can, comfortably and safely. In 2 and 1. Let's do it. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna come down, not use anything to roll, and to the other side. And again, straighten everything out, roll it, and pop it up. So all about that core strength right here. Trying to go slow for you to see that move. Okay, now I'm gonna come center, relax. This is where everybody's gonna start. You're gonna either lift 1 leg at a time with the shoulders, both legs at a time, 4 times, and then take a nice rest. Or hold it up if you can, open 2, 3, 4, and then rest everything down, okay? So you're either going 1 leg at a time lifting. This is gonna obviously be your hardest one. Otherwise, 1, 2, 3, 4, rest. Or with both legs. 1, 2, 3, 4, and breathe and rest. Then do 4 more. All right, let's take it onto that side. Get ready for that side crunch. Okay, you can even stay here the entire time. Second set, go to the other side. But I'm trying to make it a little fun, a little playful, and a little bit harder to have to rotate to the other side within that time frame. But remember, you can just nice and easy take it to the other side, stay on that hip. Good, just roll from your bottom to the other side. Doesn't have to be that harder move, okay? Just get used to shifting that weight, moving, rotating. That could be all that you're doing. And again, right here, you're either lifting 4 times, both legs, or if you can maintain, you can just count 4 times and not have movement. Or if you have that hold 4 times, see if you can add that movement. And this is just a hover. Everything comes up just a little bit. All right, let's go. Set number 3. Side crunch. Keep that hip down or lift that hip up and bring that elbow in towards the knee in towards that elbow. and rotate. Again, if you can use that core to rotate, that's where you're trying to go. All core as you rotate to the other side. Good, come center and relax it down. And get ready to lift up, one leg at a time, both legs at a time. Hold it with both legs for 4, or hold it and give me those legs out and in for 4. Make sure you're breathing and not holding that breath, and then relax everything down in between. Takes a lot of hip strength here, especially if you're doing that out and in movement, okay? At any time, if it's too much, just go back here. Go back here, one leg at a time, and relax it down. If you can't lift those shoulders, just lift the hands, okay? Just lift the legs, or just do the crunches and keep the legs down, okay? All those options you can play with. 3, 4, get the 4 in, and again. Playful roll to the other side, using that core strength right here as I come through the center. Trying not to put my legs, arms, or my shoulders down on that floor. Good, and I'm just gonna finish the other side, and then come to the center and relax. And get ready for that movement right here. And again, it could just be 4 pulse crunches. It could be just alternating leg lifts 4 times and relax. It could be with those shoulders. It could be with both of those legs just holding for 4 seconds and relaxing. Up and holding as you come out in 4 times. And then relax. All those different options, again, that you can play with. Just to be where you are, even not just in strength, but in the moment. And relax, you guys are all done. Let's just stretch it out. I want you to hug those knees in. Give yourself a little tug here. Take it side to side. That little back massage on that floor. Good. And lengthen everything out right here. And let's hug one knee in. And then I want you to take that leg and bring it across the body to get that nice stretch all the way to that side. Press down a little bit on that leg. And come back center. Hug and tug that knee in. Take it slightly off to the side of the body. Lengthen and extend it back and take the other leg in. Press it. Give it a nice little tug. Now we're going to take that leg across and rotate into it. Give it a little press on the side of that leg. And come back to the center. Give yourself a nice little hug and tug again. And bring it off to the side a little bit. Good. Hug both knees in. Good, we're going to hug underneath, and you're going to stay here, or if you can, grab the inside of those legs and give a little push down. Open everything up right here. Good, or you're here, just hugging underneath those legs with those arms, pressing on the inside of those legs if you can. And then release, hug, and bring yourself up to that seated position if you can. Rotate over onto all 4s. And from here, right back where we started, wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, tuck that chin and round that back. Look up and hollow it out. 3 more times, tuck it in round. Look up and hollow it out. 1 more time. And come back to that neutral position. Curl those toes under. We're going to walk those hands in towards our feet. Allow that body to come up. Roll ourselves back up to that standing position. And once we come up, roll those shoulders back and down. Bring those feet apart, hands on those thighs. Let's hinge forward with a flat back and fold. Roll it up halfway, stretching that spine. And then take that flat back down, roll it all the way up, allow that head to come up last. And once you come up, roll the shoulders back and take a deep breath in. Exhale down just the left, lift and lengthen through that right. Really feel that stretch in that right side. Open everything up there. You did a lot of hard work today. Again, this was intense, I know. But again, you make your level of intensity based on the options, based on your speed, based on the movement patterns. Come on up, lower down that right, lift and lengthen through that left. So I try to give you so many options so that you feel that you're capable of one of them. And if you're not capable of any that I give you, then make up your own with just simple crunches or drawing the knees in, holding planks, whatever makes you feel comfortable. Bring it down. Let's take a deep breath in with both arms. Exhale. One more time in. Exhale. And you guys are all done. Thank you so much for joining me. Once again, don't forget that you can save, share the workout. You can also come back to this page at any time, click on videos, and the workout is there for you anytime that you want to do it. Do it again and get stronger with this intense core and body weight movement. Tomorrow, 9:30 is our start time. I will be on location at the JCC, so for anybody who are members there, can register to join me in person outdoors, and you have to do that at the miyjcc.org. And there'll be instructions there on how to register for that class. Otherwise, virtually, you can get it as well. 9:30 is our start time, and we're going to finish up with our calorie burning week tomorrow on our last and final day. Have a wonderful rest of your day today, guys. Thank you, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.